A startling story has the internet buzzing tonight. Nobody can tell what is true since it is so gloomy, unclear, and unbelievable. Ben Shapiro just got into a heated argument with Candace Owens, regarded by the right-wing media as one of the most contentious discussions in recent memory. However, a startling news in the middle of that tension completely upended everything. Charlie Kirk has passed away. Yes, you heard correctly. Following Candace and Ben's conversation, rumors started to circulate quickly, claiming that Charlie Kirk, the creator of Turning Point USA, had died of unexplained causes rather than natural ones. The statement, "They made Charlie disappear," went viral on social media, igniting a furious debate as many people questioned individuals close to Charlie and demanded explanations. Candace, who is renowned for being direct and forthright, sparked a debate with her ambiguous implication. She said softly, "You think this is just a coincidence? You think Charlie just disappeared?" "No, Ben," she continued, her eyes piercing. "You're aware of what's happening." The room went quiet. Ben Shapiro was taken aback, and then everything was different. Nobody was aware of what was indicated and what was factual. However, one thing was for sure. The world was now interested in the mystery surrounding Charlie Kirk's narrative, not just a rumor. Twitter is in utter chaos. Hashtags such as Truth Exposed and Charlie Kirk are silenced are in control of world timelines. The world is now wondering if Candace Owens just dropped the most deadly information bomb of her career, or if she went too far and unintentionally made herself a target of the forces she's hinting to. TikTok users are retweeting her words, asking, "Who is they she's talking about?" Because the confrontation between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro is only the beginning of something far more complex, sinister, and unpredictable if Charlie Kirk did really pass away under questionable circumstances. This chaos isn't merely a discussion, it's an earthquake in politics. When Candace Owens confronted Ben Shapiro, she said something that stopped the world cold. Words that alluded to something no one was brave enough to mention. "We must travel back in time to the early days of these three individuals entering the arena of power together in order to comprehend why this particular moment was so explosive, where their unity was never as strong as it appeared to be." The person known as the Unquenchable Fire was Candace Owens. A liberal once blogger, she abruptly shifted into a fearless conservative voice with an unrestrained, uncompromising, and shameless manner. She was straightforward, emotional, and prepared to destroy any bridge if needed. She was neither diplomatic nor soft-spoken. And now, in the midst of the media frenzy, that same fire has removed the political world's mask once more, leaving a question that has plagued millions of people. Is Candace Owens being dishonest, or is she tampering? Millions of people love Candace Owens because she embodies an impulsive, fearless, and outspoken voice. Her ascent hasn't been easy, though. She has had conflicts with politicians, celebrities, and even members of her own movement. Those in positions of authority behind the scenes murmur that Candace is too influential to be disregarded, yet too unpredictable for traditional conservatives. She has a direct connection to a youthful, irate, unsystatic audience that is impossible for conventional voices to reach. The movement's leader, Ben Shapiro, embodies the scholarly, methodical kind of conservatism. Ben's incisive retorts and law school-esque style of debate project a picture of flawless control, logic, and reason. Ben, however, had close connections to the conservative establishment, think tanks, donors, and influential orchestrators who viewed him as the safe bet. Ben was the system's logical component if Candace was the voice of disobedience. Then there was Charlie Kirk, the machine, who made Turning Point USA into an empire of youth movements worth billions of dollars. He welcomed celebrities, packed arenas with students, planned large-scale events, and fostered an image of a young, vibrant warrior who is conservative. He was a symbol to those who supported him. He was seen by his detractors as a representation of opacity and ambition. For years, Candace, Ben, and Charlie were portrayed as a formidable trio, speaking and acting together and being heralded as conservatism's future. However, astute observers soon discovered tiny fissures beneath the glossy exterior. Candace started to object about being used as a means of Charlie's advancement. Ben viewed Candace as a risk and was wary of her whims. Those who knew Charlie said he depended on them and he thought he was better than both of them. Their alliance was based on short-term gain rather than trust. And everything started to come apart when those gains started to clash. Candace was the first to speak out, implying that the movement was being manipulated by dubious funding, unidentified contributors, and false allies. Although she did not give names, it was impossible to overlook the ramifications of each speech. And Ben Shapiro answered in quiet, as he always does. Although he avoided going straight after them, he made insinuations about individuals who undermined the cause with feelings rather than facts. Anger, power, and reason started to clash, marking the start of an irreversible rift. This started a surge of titles that nobody could have predicted. Fans realized right away that Candace Owens was being directly targeted. Charlie Kirk attempted to maintain harmony between the two groups on the same platform, but the controversy surrounding him started to cause tensions to rise. Rumors of dubious personal connections started to circulate. A few anonymous accounts even asserted that the information that the public did not fully perceive Charlie as a Christian warrior. Then the decisive moment arrived. A startling encounter between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro resulted from all the tension, gossip, and unresolved concerns. What started out as a dispute at work became into a painful, emotional, and personal music conflict. Candace leaned in Ben's direction, met his eyes directly, and whispered softly, "Do you really think this was an accident?" Candace wasn't just talking about Ben Shapiro. She was implying that Charlie Kirk's mysterious disappearance wasn't just a scandal, a retreat, or a long-term hiatus, but a purposeful silence, a message from somewhere deeper, more powerful. And if that were the case, then the alliance between Candace, Ben, and Charlie was never about unity. "Do you think Charlie just disappeared?" "No, Ben, you know better." The room froze in silence, more than a scathing rebuke. More than a moment of humor, it was a media blitz. A statement that sent shockwaves through the conservative establishment, so much so that even Ben Shapiro, who was known for his lightning-fast reactions, was left speechless. Those in attendance said that Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro had a heated discussion on stage about loyalty, power, and trust. It was about survival in a system of contradictions. In typical Shapiro form, Ben suddenly regained his calm, flashed a wry smile, and remarked, "Candace, this is ridiculous." For a brief moment, Ben appeared to lose his cool, his face strained, his eyes darting toward the camera as if evaluating his remarks. "Charlie Kirk is doing well. To be honest, spreading untrue tales is simply harming your reputation." But Ben's response did more harm than good. For many people watching live, the fact that he didn't explicitly refute Candace's hints only made them more. The audience erupted, with half booing Candace for going too far, the other half cheering and applauding her for saying what no one else dared to say, and a small group even chanting, "Where is Charlie? Would he be protecting himself or some force behind the scenes? Charlie, where are you?" Before security intervened, the scene rapidly became out of hand. Video of the furious altercation went viral in a matter of minutes. Even before the event was over, the hashtag, "Where is Charlie Kirk?" was trending on Twitter. Candace Owens just exposed Ben Shapiro live, was the description for a ton of videos on TikTok. But Charlie Kirk's extended silence added to the mystery of the event. He hadn't been featured in any posts, videos, or pivotal moments for weeks. This abrupt absence was out of the ordinary for someone who used to be online virtually every day. Supporters started to dig, bringing up old pictures of Charlie with influential contributors and divisive personalities, implying that he may have come too close to things that the public wasn't allowed to know. Theories proliferate like wildfire on platforms such as Truth Uncovered and Exposed the Machine. They kept him quiet. This isn't simply going away. Control is this. The situation went from being a dispute to a full-fledged media frenzy, with everyone asking the same question. And every new video, tweet, and buzz just served to fuel suspicions. Actually, where is Charlie Kirk? Some conjectured that Charlie Kirk was being kept secret, while others muttered that the same forces that had formerly backed him had driven him into obscurity. The first twist was the texts that were revealed. Screenshots of a discussion purportedly between Candace Owens and an unidentified phone number kept under the moniker CK have been making the rounds online. "They're after me. You need to get out of there before it's too late," Candace allegedly wrote. The account that uploaded the picture vanished within hours, but the harm had already been done. CK's said answer was, "I can't. They'll find me." You have no idea how serious this is. Is Charlie trapped in something bigger than himself? Was the query that went viral on social media. Ben Shapiro was also caught in the center of the storm, in addition to Candace. Videos of Ben appearing humiliated went popular with titles like "Mimi's flooded Twitter," "Ben playing," "Ben knows something." Then came the second twist. That night, an anonymous account called Shadow Lake posted a chilling message. Charlie attempted to expose them but failed. If Candace continues, she's next. Painter. Ben silencing Charlie. Ben behind the curtain. Even some conservatives began asking, why doesn't Ben reach out to Charlie directly to prove he's okay? Why is Turning Point USA still silent? Everyone agrees on one thing. Candace Owens' words are no longer a rant, they're a warning. The story now reaches a breathtaking climax. The internet is in chaos and confusion. The image was grainy, the location unclear, but conspiracy theorists were fired up. They seemed to show a person who looked like Charlie Kirk being escorted into a black SUV by two men in suits. Then came the enigmatic audio recording. If that blurry SUV photo is real, where is Charlie now? Was Ben Shapiro just trying to control the situation or protect something else? Candace seems to have touched on a secret that many people are afraid to speak because from the moment she said those words, everything exploded. Rumors, leaks, betrayals, a media storm that would not stop. Was that a secret? A male voice that sounds like Charlie says, Candace, I'm worried, in what was allegedly a private conversation between Candace and Charlie. It'll be over if I tell. You don't know who we're interacting with. Then why call me? The female voice said icily. The recording ended abruptly, and while many believed it was a fabrication, millions of others saw it as evidence that Charlie was in serious peril. You knew they would come after me, the speaker said. Ben Shapiro swiftly posted a video response as the internet exploded, calling the entire situation a baseless conspiracy theory and asserting that the recording was fake. However, his evasive and cold tone only served to increase public suspicion because, as one Twitter commenter put it succinctly, Ben can say anything but one thing. He never mentioned where Charlie was. TruthSeeker92 claims that Ben Shapiro was perceived as a gatekeeper, protecting donors and the power. Then the incident transcended politics and became the focal point of popular culture. With Kanye West writing, they always go after the people who know too much. They believed that Charlie Kirk was in too deep. And even some conservatives started demanding evidence that Charlie was okay. While the official Turning Point USA channels only posted general messages about continuing the mission without mentioning the founder. Charlie first, then who? Andrew Tate posted a video claiming that Charlie's disappearance was part of a global plan, while Elon Musk simply tweeted, "Where's Charlie?" A person posing as a Turning Point USA employee sent an anonymous message to the press, saying, "Charlie hasn't shown up in weeks. Management told us not to ask. Everyone is scared. Candace knows more." The mainstream media attempted to deny the rumor, calling it a baseless conspiracy theory, but the more they denied it, the more the public came to believe that something was being concealed. This was enough to make the phrase trend internationally. Charlie Kirk's secret legacy fund, an internal email that was leaked, discussed Turning Point's plan to continue operations in light of recent developments, and left the public convinced that the organization had long been preparing for the worst. Although no one said that Charlie had passed away, the message was clear, and the public wondered, why are we talking about an estate fund if Charlie is okay? Swiping about as tensions increased, Candace Owens made an appearance on Instagram with a serious expression, declaring, "I know what I'm talking about." After Point USA swiftly denounced the story as a hoax, but it was too late. Screenshots went viral, shared millions of times. "I'm friends with Charlie. He disclosed to me information that led to his troubles. And you're deluding yourself if you believe Ben is unaware." Even though there was no proof, her voice's unwavering conviction was enough to start a new social media frenzy. Fuzzy photo purportedly obtained from a hospital facility of a man whose face resembled Charlie Kirk was posted anonymously on 4chan with the message, "Candace isn't lying. He is no longer there." Within hours, social media was split into two camps. Charlie is dead and Charlie is alive. Some said the images was artificial intelligence, AI, manufactured, while others insisted it matched every detail, was suffocating. In the midst of all the confusion, Ben Shapiro says nothing. There is no confirmation or denial, so there is only one terrifying question that keeps coming up on the internet. Is Charlie Kirk still alive, or will he be silenced forever? If Candace Owens is telling the truth, this isn't just a feud between her and Ben Shapiro. It's a seismic event that could split the entire conservative movement. Theories abound on the internet, and when a grainy photo purportedly of Charlie, when Kirk surfaced, the situation changed from a straightforward argument to the biggest cultural crisis of the year. TikTok is flooded with videos of people crying, Compilations of evidence and analyses of Candace's gestures, Ben's silence, and Charlie's mysterious disappearance. On forums such as Truth Hunter 92, someone commented, "If Charlie were still here, he would have posted something's wrong." Political jargon retorted, "Candace is not insane. To expose what is concealed, she is putting her life in danger." There were memes everywhere. Ben Shapiro on a poster of a domineering tycoon, Candace labeled a whistleblower, and Charlie's face on a missing milk carton. The online community was split, with one faction thinking Candace was exposing a secret truth, and the other that she was undermining the movement from within. While staff whispered about a complete silence, donors to Turning Point USA panicked and demanded proof that Charlie was okay. While some right-wing figures openly sided with Candace, saying, "If they can make Charlie disappear, who is safe?" System loyalists ridiculed her as the opposition's internal weapon. And the fever peaked when Hollywood got involved. As Kanye West wrote, "Charlie told me things. They want us dead before we can inform them." Donald Trump Jr. just wrote on social media, "Charlie is a fighter. Not everything you hear is true." Where is Charlie Kirk? Is still the unanswered topic plaguing social media. But commentators soon pointed out that Donald Trump Jr. did not specifically state that Charlie was still alive. "Conservatives are biting each other," tweeted Aaliyah Banks, jumping right into the controversy. "Please pass the popcorn to me, please." One comedian joked, "Candace says Charlie is gone." Even the late-night shows couldn't ignore it. Ben claims to be all right. This is undoubtedly the most thrilling political drama of the 20, though I'm not sure whom to believe. The political repercussions swiftly reached Washington. Republicans were questioned by reporters. "Have you had a conversation with Charlie Kirk?" The majority gave vague answers, stating that they think he's okay, but nobody provided any proof. Democrats, meanwhile, take the chance to make fun of it. They first claimed that the election had been rigged. Charlie Kirk was allegedly stolen. They have a very lengthy TV series. However, strategists are aware of the true risk behind the scenes. Charlie was not merely a public personality. A generation of young conservative voters were influenced by him. The movement as a whole might disintegrate if he were to actually disappear, or if his reputation were to decline, all night. And Ben Shapiro, who is currently viewed as the main antagonist. Millions of replays have been made of the video showing him fumbling with Candace. Audiences have assumed he is aloof, evasive, or perhaps concealing something because of his composed manner and his inability to respond enthusiastically. Theories abound on the boards. Ben is aware of the situation. Ben is defending his contributors. Charlie and Ben got into a fight. Candace was upset because of this. Consequently, upset because of this. Consequently, within the conservative movement, the issue evolved from a rumor to a public power battle. Ben Shapiro's quiet turned into an implicit declaration. The people demanded the same question more and more as he attempted to post content every day. Charlie is where? One item was now required by the internet. Evidence. Charlie Kirk himself in a picture, a film, or even just one appearance. Up until then, skepticism was stoked by every leak, every rumor, and every dubious photo. Next came a mysterious tweet from Candace Owens. Ben is able to make things better. TPUSA is able to conceal itself. The press can chuckle. But you'll understand why Charlie fled once the truth is revealed. In just a few minutes, the tweet had hundreds of thousands of engagements. The social network as a whole was buzzing. Was Candace's evidence genuine? Was this the desperate situation of a guy in a corner, or was she going to expose someone? Regardless of the conservative machine had been shattered by Candace Owens, and the fallout was only getting started, regardless of whether Charlie Kirk was still alive, missing, or simply hiding. Candace went live late one evening. Her voice was now tired and heavy rather than aggressive. "They believe Charlie can be written off, act as if nothing occurred. However, I will not remain silent, since I will be the next to do so. You are aware of their identities." That final sentence ignited social internet. As viewers attempted to guess their identities, the hashtag #WhoAreThey quickly became popular. A number of documents purportedly connecting Turning Point USA's funders to dubious charities and shell corporations were soon made public by an anonymous account. A page in an international secrecy agreement signed by Charlie. The picture went viral despite being unsubstantiated. It was all over the internet. Was Charlie being made to keep quiet? Or was he attempting to escape a power structure that is too large to challenge? Then, after remaining silent for weeks, Ben Shapiro suddenly made an appearance on his program. His eyes were tired, yet his voice was sharp. Candace Owens is disseminating false information. However, the harm was done to the general people. The rumor had been dispelled. A crisis of confidence has developed. Charlie Kirk is secure. He simply cannot talk right now. All I can say is that. However, that's all I have to say about what ignited social media. Why didn't Ben upload a video to show that he was safe? Why didn't Charlie's account include a picture, a message, or even a tweet? Supporters didn't think so. Ben had just unintentionally verified to them that something was being kept under wraps. Then came the moment when Candace Owens sparked a furor on the internet. She only posted 3 words. Watch the video. It was accompanied by a grainy image that appeared to be a cutout from a surveillance camera. In an underground parking lot, a man who resembled Charlie Kirk was encircled by a number of men wearing suits. It was a terrifying caption. It was too late when I last saw him because the picture became viral before being taken down from social media. It had already been viewed by millions. There were a lot of different theories. Is Charlie being watched? Does he remain in the shadowy interior of the movement he started? Or is this Candace's last cautionary tale before she herself vanishes from social media? There were cracks in the conservative machine. The question Candace left behind went viral on the internet. A nagging question with no response. Who is next and what actually happened to Charlie Kirk? It went well beyond gossip and politics now. Power, faith, and fear clashed in silence like a full-fledged storm. What began as the contentious argument between Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens has now turned into the most sinister query on social media. Is Charlie Kirk still living? Or has the system he helped create silenced him? The elusive silence from Turning Point USA, the hazy photo, the enigmatic email, the leaked documents, and Ben's vague statement. All I can say is that they all appear to be disparate parts of a hazy whole. It doesn't seem normal. There isn't a sufficient explanation. And the words, "they silenced him," that Candace spoke are now reverberating on all platforms, forums, and websites. It's your time now, though. Is it just a smokescreen for a much larger tale, or do you think Charlie Kirk is truly gone? Do you believe Candace is being led into a perilous trap, or is she courageously stating the truth? Ben Shapiro, what about him? Does his lack of response indicate that he is caught in the middle, or that he understands the situation better? Tell us what you really think in the comments section below. Which side do you support? Charlie Drew D or Charlie Khan Song Hint? Remember to subscribe, like the video, and enable notifications since this is just the beginning of the narrative. You'll want to be present to see everything if Candace releases the video or if Charlie makes an unexpected comeback. Because this isn't the end, that much is certain. Something that has the potential to upend the motion.